Is something wrong with Black Americans? That's what I want to know about, guys. I want to have that conversation. Is something wrong with Black Americans? Let's kind of deal with the topic like this. There appears to be division, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how can we have a discussion that can be civil without the typical drama. I want to find out why there is so much hypocrisy and why everybody's acting like they can't see that there's a serious issue. Let's let's package this thing like this. Um, you have a lot of blacks that don't like Trump. You have a lot of blacks that speak against MAGA. They say that it's racist, and if a black person, I guess, wears a MAGA hat, right? I guess he's in support of white supremacy or in support of some racist or racism or whatever the case is. We hear this a lot on social media. Now, here's my issue with why I'm posing the question: is something wrong with Black Americans? If you feel that Trump is a racist, if you're anti-MAGA, and you're against blacks who support Trump, why do you support white-owned businesses? Why do you bank with white America? Why do you work for the white man? I'm trying to figure out for the life of me, why is it that as a black American man, right, if I wear a MAGA hat, I'm hated by black people. But yet they talk about civil rights, they talk about racism. But then if you're doing something they don't like in terms of your political beliefs, your political party that you support, then they exercise racism towards you. There's something wrong with black Americans. I find that there is a serious hypocrisy because it's almost like if you're black, you're not allowed to have freedom of expression. I mean, when you think about civil rights, right? Civil rights movement, and you think about what they were fighting for, I feel discriminated against by blacks because of who I choose to support. It don't make me less than a black. It don't make me less black because I support Trump. Doesn't make me an enemy of black people. And the reason why we got to have this discussion is because I find that black Americans express so much hatred towards their own people. And then they complain about white supremacy. I'm trying to figure this out. It don't make no sense. It's almost like being categorized with a group when you don't participate with the group. You know, like how you have a lot of people that claim they're Christians, right? Well, there's a lot of people who claim they're a Christian, but that doesn't mean that all Christians get along. It doesn't mean that all Christians agree. It doesn't mean that they all believe the same things, you know? But it seems like when you're a Trump supporter or you wear a MAGA hat and you're black, you're faced with extreme hate from your own people. And when this happens, it really shows me personally that something is wrong with us. Something is seriously wrong with us because we treat other black people like complete trash, but we don't do this to white people. Most of you hate me, and that's cool, you know? You hate me, but you watch me, which is crazy. But you support white owned businesses. You bank with white people, all your money, direct deposit, Bank America, Chase. You shop at all of these businesses that are ran and owned by Trump supporters. And that's okay. You do that. But for me, you hate me. I mean, if you're this much of an anti-Trump person, you shouldn't be supporting nothing that is white. You should be supporting black businesses. But then again, black people don't even do that. They don't even support black businesses. So which one is it? Do we just like to fight and argue all day because it's just it's draining. As a black American, right? I experience so much hatred from black Americans that I don't know what it's like to I don't know what it's like to see the black community come together. I've never seen that. Never. It's just constant hatred all day. But then when we look at social media, everybody's talking about white supremacy and oh, these people are racist. But then when I look at my people, they hate me. And then when you speak about it, they insult you. They call you a coon, a sambo, a sellout. You're faced with all this ridicule from your own people. I don't get this from white people. I don't. And to be honest, there's a lot of white racists. I probably live around a bunch of damn white racists right now. They probably watching me. But at the end of the day, I don't care because I don't talk to nobody, whether you black or white. I don't talk to nobody because I've learned that people have forgotten what community means. And now it's just a sick world, you know? I'm just trying to figure out what went wrong with black Americans. What's wrong? Where we can't have conversations no more. We can't even discuss anything. It's almost like if you're a part of a particular group, if you believe something, then you are ostracized, criticized, cast out, forgotten. That's pretty much what we see. And it's amazing. It's amazing that people do these type of things. Absolutely amazing. But this is the world we live in, where if you're black, you're not allowed by the black community to express yourself politically. Because if you are conservative or if you support Trump, you're an enemy to black people automatically. When the Democrat Party have kept blacks in poverty forever, your Jesse Jacksons, your Al Sharptons, all of these civil rights leaders, they're all the same. All they have done for us is keep us divided. And when we have people like myself, who is a voice of reason, I'm met with hate. And it's just overwhelmingly sad because it's like you're forced into a group that you don't belong in. It's like, I mean, when you think of MAGA, right? When you think of the term MAGA, make America great again, why is it that as a black American, the first thing that comes to your mind is racism? Why? Who taught you that? Out of all the problems you got right now, out of all the issues that's going on in your personal life, why do that occupy your mind to the point you would punish me? You would punish me. You would unsubscribe, not support my platform, call me all sorts of names. And I'm a black man. That's how you treat me. But you will go right outside to a white owned business that is pro Trump, pro MAGA, and spend your money. You'll go to the gas station, fill up your tank. The gas company, the owner of that gas station, is pro Trump, pro MAGA. But your dollars go into their business. Is something wrong with black Americans? It's like we are the biggest hypocrites, man. The biggest hypocrites. And white America is laughing at us because they know that we suffer from insecurity issues, inferiority issues. We have some sort of image concern issue, man. It's just sick, man. I don't understand the sickness that we got, but we express our hate towards each other. You would think that if you really felt the way you felt, you would just stop supporting white businesses as a whole. In other words, you're never shopping at a white owned business ever again because you want to uplift the black community, but you don't do that. And I'm not even telling you to do that. I'm just trying to figure out for the life of me, if you have such a disdain or hate for Trump, MAGA, or even white folk, why do you put all your money into every resource, every business, everything that they own, keeping them rich when you could be supporting the black community, black businesses? You don't even support black businesses. Look, I'm 48 and I've learned a long time ago that there is no hope for black Americans. None. There is no hope for us. We will never be able to unite. We will never really even work with one another. We will always hate each other. It's in our DNA. It's not in us to love each other. That's why when I do these videos, I know I'm speaking the truth because your great grandfather thought about it, your grandfather thought about it, your grandma knew it. That's why she didn't even care because she already know no matter how much they tried to get us to come together, we continually fight one another all the time. And I cannot understand why is it that in America, the black community is divided over politics. If you're black and you say you support Trump, black people will disown you. They will disown you. You know how much support I lost just because I'm a father and I choose to support Trump? Black people have abandoned me. What does that tell me about my own people? It says that they believe in racism. They believe in discrimination. Because if you're so into civil rights, being equal, equal treatment, fair treatment, then why am I not allowed to have my own mind? Why am I allowed? Why am I not allowed to support who I want to support? Why does that bother you when you don't even support me? What exactly is black people in America doing collectively to empower black people? What are they doing? I don't know what they're doing. I don't even see what they're doing. It's to the point where, and I'm just being honest, guys. You have to understand when I'm talking, I don't sugarcoat, I don't lie. I feel no connection to black people. None. I'm literally alone in this life right now. I don't have a people. I don't. Because all my life, I'm talking about all my life, I have never, ever seen black people together. Never. All I see us do is fight and argue all day. From when I was being raised as a kid, I seen it with family, I seen it with friends, and you begin to get numb. It becomes normal. You just expect it, you know? You just expect the hate. 99.9% of any hate that I get in my live chat is from black people. Is something wrong with black Americans? What are we fighting for? Why can't we just listen to learn from one another? There really is no hope, guys. This is why I would rather just stay to myself and uh just not even get involved, man. Like, when you think about Malcolm X, Dr. King, various other leaders who felt and had compassion for blacks and wanted to, I guess, do something about all the injustices. In today's day, if you really think about it, there are zero leaders, zero in the black community. None. Everybody's out for this. Nobody cares. Nobody have compassion no more. Nobody cares about injustices. They don't care. It's just about making money. Guys, when you look on social media, right? Let me put you on game to what's going on. You know how you had your Jesse Jacksons, your Al Sharptons of yesteryear? Okay, today Your new Al Sharptons, Jesse Jacksons are influencers on social media that are always talking about white supremacy. They're always talking about Trump is a racist, MAGA this, MAGA that, and all this other goofball stuff. Their job is to keep us divided. That's what their job is. Keep us divided as long as they can make money. I try to bring everybody together. But all these influencers do is they bring nothing but division. I made a video upload earlier where I was talking about, is it wrong? Is something wrong with blacks who wear a MAGA hat and support Trump? And, you know, people are upset because I'm asking questions. It's like you cannot educate the black community. You can't. They don't want to learn nothing. They don't want to listen to nothing. This is why when you come to social media, a lot of black influencers, they just spend time at making entertainment videos to keep you laughing and giggling and entertained because they know they can't educate you about anything because you're not listening. You know, they know that. They know that you're not going to pay attention. They know that you don't want to learn that because in order to keep you looking at the video long enough, they got to be talking about something stupid. They got to be talking about some gossip, some he said, she said. But the minute you try to educate your people, they call you a lame, a sellout, a goofball. And it gets to the point where you just get tired and you just say, you know what, forget all of this. You know, forget all of this. I'm not even going to waste my time because I'm not getting nowhere with this. There really is no hope for our people. And it's sad because I really have a heart to want to teach, to empower our people to be better. It's like we will always think like slaves. We will always be inferior because we choose to stay that way. We we feel confident in being at the bottom. It makes us feel better. I don't know what it is, but it's sick. We complain about this, we complain about that, but when you think about it, we take no action. We don't support the people that uplift us, and it's like we like being defeated. And I think it's a money making business. Now follow me for a second. Watch this. I'm gonna go off on a little rabbit trail, and then I'm gonna make my point, and hopefully you'll understand it. Some of you probably seen my videos where I talk about these these YouTubers who act like they live in their cars and they act like they are homeless, right? The reason why these influencers do that is because they know most viewers are dumb enough to believe it and they play on their emotions so they could get money. If you were to tell these influencers that act like they're living in their car, hey, buddy, I have an apartment. The rent is paid for 2 years. I don't live there no more. I can give you the keys. You can stay there and get yourself together. Those influencers who act like they live in a car would not take that apartment. You know why? Because if they do, they could no longer they could no longer run a grift of acting homeless. Because remember, their content, they must be in their vehicle at all times. So offering them a place to stay stops the content from coming. Same thing with people, primarily black influencers, who specialize in continually keeping us divided with propaganda news, hatred for Trump, hatred for MAGA, hatred for everything, continually talking about white supremacy. If you were to take away the footing, the support beam from the content, they got no more content. So they got to keep us thinking like slaves. They got to keep making us feel that there's a white man who's a racist who don't like us. Guys, we got a lot of problems in the black community that we're not even solving. Instead, we're worrying about stuff that is out of our control. We're worrying about stuff that is not even there because the boogeyman created it. We're listening to influencers that their bottom line is making money. They don't care about us. But you listen to them because you believe they're speaking some sort of truth when really they're not. They're keeping you as a slave. They're abusing your ears, man, by constantly feeding you poison every day. Telling you about white supremacy, telling you about Trump is a racist, MAGA is racist, any black person you see wearing a MAGA hat is racist. Guys, I don't hang with white people. I don't hang with black people. I stay to myself. But when these people say things, it's designed to make you think that, oh, if I support Trump or if I have a MAGA hat, that means I'm a part of some rally where a bunch of racists is at. Guys, I don't know why they do this, but it's all designed to divide us. That's what it's all about. It's all designed to divide us, keep us fighting against one another. That's all it is. Who cares if a black person wears a MAGA hat? Who cares? Why does that bother you? Why does that bother you? That shouldn't even be bothering you. Why do you make it an issue? You acting as if though somebody did something to you. It doesn't make any sense, man. And that's the problem. Now think about this, guys. Think about the slave mentality. Watch the slave mentality of blacks. Somebody says, if the Civil Rights Act wasn't passed, you wouldn't be talking like this, sir. Let me wake you up. Let me speak in the language that you understand. Since you are so educated in civil rights, let me show you how fucking dumb you are. If the Civil Rights Act wasn't passed, you wouldn't be talking this way, sir. If you believe in so much civil rights, why the fuck you keep wasting your time focusing on white supremacy, who's a racist, slavery, and all this dumb shit? Why you haven't moved on and improved your life? It's because you're a slave, even with civil rights. And that's the problem with black Americans. All of these leaders we had who fought and died for our freedom, all of our ancestors who bled and shed blood and tears. What the fuck are we doing today in 2026 to honor them? Nothing. All we do is fight and bicker amongst one another. We're the laughing stock of the world. Pure hypocrisy. Is something wrong with black Americans? Imagine a person telling me If it wasn't for civil rights, I won't be able to speak the way I'm speaking. But yet, with all this civil right nonsense, you still hate white Americas. You still hate white people. You're a racist at heart. Why are you so full of hate to the point where you're exercising your hate against me, but you still support white-owned businesses, hypocrite? Your money is sitting in a white bank. Your money. The white man got your money in a bank. But you would think about this, guys. These folks that hate the truth have no problem being mad with me. They don't ever do that to the white man. They don't ever do that, guys. It is sort of like with black on black crime, when you see blacks killing and shooting each other. It's easy to do that because we're expendable. It's easy to do that. Guys, do you know in the most violent black communities, in the ghetto, in the hood, any predominantly black community that is the deep hood of the ghetto slums, do you know white people can walk through the hood, through the ghetto, and not be touched? Nobody, no one would touch them. I see it all the time. I see white men and white women walk through the roughest gang infested neighborhoods and not one black person do a thing to them. But if you're black and you walk through the hood, your own people, your own people be the first to try kill you, harass you, rob you. What set you from? What hood you rep? Yo, you wearing those colors. A white man could go to the hood and wear red in a predominantly Crip environment. He's wearing all red. Not one Crip would do a thing to him. Let a black man walk in a Crip environment, all red. He get jumped and beat and killed. And he's not even a gang member. His favorite color is red. He just happened to wear a red jumpsuit. And he get killed. Is something wrong with black Americans? Yep, something definitely wrong. And this is why I try to have these discussions, because I know that this falls on deaf ears. I know that most of you are never going to listen, right? Stuff like this you just don't listen to because, again, it causes you to have to challenge and look within. And it's something that most people don't want to do. They don't want to look within. They don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to judge themselves. You know, when I was a kid growing up, I thought that as a child, everybody got along. At least it appeared that way. But then when I got older, I realized that we really never got along. We just act like we did. You remember those days when you was a kid and you thought that your entire family got along? They really never did. They were just acting like they loved one another. But they didn't. We've always been divided. Till this day, it's worse. And it's scary because if push comes to shove and something really go down in the world right now, we would not unite as a community to protect our women and children. We would not. We would not. We would be killing each other. That's just the truth. Blacks would be killing blacks like crazy for resources. We would not mobilize at all. And that's scary. That is scary. We will be killing one another over resources. We talk all this talk on social media, but if the truth be told, if it really hit the fan, we're done. We don't know how to mobilize together because there's no real brotherhood. There's no real love. Everything is fake, you know? And it don't make no sense, man, at all. None whatsoever. Let me see. Yeah, I deal with my sister, extended family. Everybody got issues with their family. Um, Topic is not about what white people are doing. I'm not concerned about that. See, that's another problem with black folk. Anytime we're having a discussion to understand us, y'all keep bringing up white folk and what they're doing. Y'all do this all the time. It's almost like, well, we're not the only ones who do this. Nobody said that. The question is, we hate one another. We hate each other. That's the truth. Most of you hate me, and you're subscribed to my channel, but you hate me at the same time. That it's weird. It is weird to not like somebody, but you subscribe to them and you watch them only to get upset. That's crazy. That's a weird obsession. There is no love for our people, man. There is no love. As a black man, right? Go to a predominantly black community in a nice vehicle with a nice looking woman, step out the car and see the tension in the air. You won't be greeted with love. You'll be greeted with jealousy, hate, and somebody will be plotting to rob you. It's just sad, man. That's why when I see all these videos and everybody's acting like there's all this brotherly, sisterly love, we got to stop being fake, man. We got to stop being fake because it's it's not real, man. It is not real, guys. Something is wrong. Why can't we why can't we agree on the common base of life when it comes to our people? In other words, what do we all want? And can we look past our disagreements and still be loyal as a people? Or is it just cutthroat? In other words, you're black, you believe in this, I don't believe in that, so I don't see you as a brother no more. That's where we are right now. It's no different than division when it comes to religion. Well, you're a Christian, that person's a Hebrew Israelite, that person's a Muslim, so y'all all divided. And y'all family. You have families like that. Family. One is a Christian, the other one's a Muslim, the other one's a so-called Hebrew Israelite. And they're divided. They can't even talk with one another because it's like, well, you believe that, I don't believe this. This is why I'm done with religion. Because that shit divided all of us, and I'm tired of it. We need to have a conversation without religion, a conversation without focusing on all of this uh, political stuff, and get down to the nitty gritty on how we can improve so that the next generation got the tools needed, because we're going to all die and our kids are going to be left behind cleaning up this bullshit we created. If we don't fix this mess, our kids are going to be dealing with this poison, and it's going to be worse. See, our our grandparents, our mothers and fathers, they never fixed the problem. They just ignored it. And now we're dealing with the headaches right now. We're dealing with it right now. You don't see the boomers pretty much set in order. No, they don't care. They done. They forgot about this. They said, "Man, I'm done. I'm not wasting my time." So now we're all scrambling around just making noise and no results is happening. Like, where's the results? Where's the results in the black community? Where's the results? You know, think about that. I mean, again, guys, check out the comments from the wonderful people. Check it out. Sir, with all due respect, you are a hypocrite. Let me explain to you what a hypocrite is because you didn't graduate high school. A hypocrite is a person who profess certain beliefs that they do not hold. For example, if I am a practitioner of going to a club where there are strippers, and I tell you that it is wrong to go to the strip club, but yet I'm at the strip club on the low key, that would make me a hypocrite. Do you understand the meaning of a hypocrite? It's a person who profess certain beliefs that they do not hold. That is what a hypocrite is. Now, let's look at your wonderful comment. Sir, with all due respect, you're a hypocrite. They went through a lot back in the 1800s and 1940s uh, and 50s. What have you been through? Know it all, whatever, whatever. Again, a pointless comment, just dumb, makes no sense. We are actually living in the worst time in history, which is worse than what they've been through. You want me to tell you why? I'm glad you asked that question. All of the blacks, right, that was raised during the 40s and 50s, where you had various segregation and various other issues, endured a time in life that you would probably think it's wrong, horrible, it's just bad. But you know what they had that we didn't had? They got along, dumbass. Today, 2026, we don't even get along. We're not even in that time of segregation the way they were. We're free and we act like animals. You tell me, this is the worst time in history because we have the freedom to make changes and do better, and we refuse to do it. We have the freedom to love one another, but we don't. We have all the resources around us, the technology to communicate with one another where they didn't have this. Malcolm X didn't have the internet. Dr. King didn't have the internet. He couldn't mobilize the world, the people. He couldn't do it. We can, but we don't do it. This is the worst time in history because we have all the resources, the technology, and we're full of hate. We're full of hate. We don't know how to mobilize and we don't know how to unite. Malcolm X, Dr. King, various other men were able to do things and they didn't even have the resources we had. So put that in your pipe and smoke it because you don't know the half of what we're going through. We're living in a time right now where everything is expensive, dumbass. In times of old, in those days, the cost of living was cheap. People were able to buy houses, houses, houses for pennies. Today, you got to work your ASS off to survive. Some of your great grandparents bought a home ultra cheap. Let me give you another pointer of what's really going on. Watch this. And this is a true story. This is 100% truth. My wife's father, he's still alive. He's about 80 something years old, right? This man, now watch this. This to show you how most elderly people think. It's amazing. He bought a house. I believe it was $40,000 to $50,000, a whole house. A whole house, guys. A house. $50,000. This particular house is, I'm not going to say the location in Brooklyn. At the same time, they were doing like a renovation of the community and they building these big buildings, right? They wanted to buy his house that he paid 50,000 for. You know how much they want to offer him? Guess. Guess how much they offered him to buy his $50,000 house? Guess how much? Guess. Put numbers in the chat. Guess how much money they offered him. We got 500K, 200K. You're not. Any more numbers? Any more? No more? They offered him $700,000 for a $50,000 house. And guess what? That was around the number, 750. 750K to buy him out to take his house. And guess what? Guess what, guys? He did not sell the house. You know what he told my wife? He said he worked too hard back then to buy his house. He did everything, and all his love is in that house. All his energy is in that house. He said he refused to sell that house, even though they want to give him $750,000. Call it what you want to. Some of you would have took the money, right? I know you would have took the money, but not him, because he looked at what that house mean to him. That house is his life, because he worked and worked and worked. Come on, man. A $50,000 house. Guys, I remember growing up as a kid, and I was able to buy candy. $1 could get you a bag of candy. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember. Matter of fact, let me point out the area. It could have been every area, but in Brooklyn, New York, around Eastern Parkway, I lived at this address around whatchamacallit, where it was. I think it was Sterling Place or something like that. Sterling Place near Park Place in Brooklyn. It was in Crown Heights somewhere. And they had this store, man, where you could buy candy. $1 could get you candy. 1 penny, you can buy gum. 1 penny. A penny. You can buy a whole gum. I used to get 25 candies. For 25 cents, you get 25 different candies. Guys, it was the best time in history as a kid. We used to get bags of candy. Bags and bags. Those days are over. Those days are over right now. Everything was cheap. Everything. Everything was cheap, guys. Grocery shopping. Even though we were poor, everything was cheap, man. Now, with inflation, you can't even survive. We're living in the worst time in history. So when people act like, oh, our ancestors had it worse, no, we got it worse. Our ancestors had peace. We're fighting for our solitude right now. We're fighting for our peace. We struggle just to maintain our life. They didn't struggle like that. They didn't struggle like that. Blacks back then had Black Wall Street. Come on. People acting as if though we don't got no problems today. We're in the worst time in history, because here's the thing. All of the fighting, all of the civil rights movement, all of the rights that blacks were able to obtain in 2026, and you're not even using a damn thing to improve yourself. All you do is bitch and complain on social media all day. With all these resources available, you still don't want to do anything. Just complain. The white man holding me down. The white man not holding you down. You're holding you down. And then they gave us religion to keep us silent, to keep us even more down, telling us to go pray to Jesus. What? Are you kidding me? Pray to who? Nah, you tripping. All of this is designed to keep us lazy, to keep us from working hard, to keep us from building. No. Don't work. Let's just pray to Jesus. What? No. That's how you're going to stay in poverty. And while you praying, the pastor's getting rich. The pastor. Why is it that every pastor in every church is a millionaire and the congregation is poor? Explain that to me. Explain it to me, guys. Explain to me why the pastors and the bishops and these so-called church leaders are all multimillionaires and the people who attend these churches are broke. Come on. Like I said, guys, when it comes to teaching this truth, it's impossible to do that with so-called blacks. It's very difficult to teach the truth. They they just don't want to hear anything, you know? Well, when you're black, you have to act poor in order to survive now. You can't be black and have anything. If you do, you're going to be hated by black Americans. You got to literally act poor in order to be accepted. If they see you looking good, dressing good, shining in any way, oh, that's a problem. Oh yeah, that's a major problem. Seriously, man. Look at black America right now. If you support Trump, they hate you. They throw you under the bus. But yet they do banking with white people. They shop at all the white stores. They do all these things with white America and they don't give them no headaches, no pushback. You gladly give them your money. But someone like me, you wouldn't even support me. I ain't supporting him. He's black. I can't support him. You walk into a white store, hey, how you doing? Hey, welcome back to our store. Wow, I just looking at these items you have on the shelf. Yeah, let me get 5 of those, 3 of this, 5 of that. You spent like $600 in their store. This is what black people do all the time. You go into the Asian man store, give him all your money. You go into the Russian man store, give him all your money. The Jewish man store, give him all your money. The white man store, give him all your money. The East Indian, all your money. The African man, you give him all your money. You give everybody all your money. Black man, oh, no, I'm not supporting him. I'm unsubscribing. I cannot stand him. Notice, I get punished because I'm black. But these very same people who fight and claim that they're all about civil rights, what about my civil rights? What about my rights? Well, my rights don't matter. Hmm. I don't have the freedom to support who I will support. If I do, I'm punished by black Americans. Don't you just love them? Wonderful people, right? And that's where we are, guys. That is where we are right now. It's really, really bad, man. Really, really bad. Notice how a lot of these folks are still living in the past. Let me see this. Consider this, good sir. 1957. We in 2026. You still in 19. Bro, are y'all seeing this, guys? Are y'all seeing this? Consider this, good sir. 1957, a black man reporter was beaten by a mob of you know what. Go back to that time and see if you don't get upset, sir. You would not be able to handle it. Let me look in the camera. I don't give a fuck about that. I got a family to provide for, a wife to take care of, house to take care of, cars to take care of. I don't give a fuck about who was beaten up in 1950 whatever 7. Are you seeing this, guys? These people want me to go in the past so I can be angry. Are you not seeing it in real time? He said you would get upset knowing what they did to that person. Think about their mindset. Can't you see this? That's what they want to do to black Americans. They want us to remain upset and angry about the past. Don't most black Americans claim that they're Christians and they believe in God? Okay, if you believe in God, why haven't you forgiven? If you believe in your God, if you believe in Jesus Christ, why haven't you forgiven the enemy? Where's forgiveness? Where is it? If you really believe the Bible, why you haven't forgiven and moved on. Do you see my point? Again, guys, look at that comment. Consider this, good sir. 1957, a black man reporter was beaten by a mob of you know what. He can't even say white people because he's scared, right? Go back to that time and see if you don't get upset, sir. So his goal is he want me to get upset about something that happened in 1957. So this is what black folk do? You guys sit in the past getting upset? What about all the Asian people who died? What about what about that white man that was just walking his dog and a group of blacks beat him to death and his family had to bury him? What about his situation? Oh, that don't matter because he's white. He deserved it, right? I understand. Imagine looking for stories to get upset about. And we're in 2026 and we got all these problems. Guys, the other day, right? You remember the story about the so-called two black girls that was in the suitcase and everybody was calling it white supremacy, saying that, oh, these kids was murdered by some white person, sundown town, all this goofy shit. Oh, guess who they just arrested? A black woman. A black woman arrested. I thought everybody said the white man did it. I thought everybody said the white man did it. Now it turns out the black woman did it. Where is everybody now? You got people taking down their videos now. They were blaming white supremacy. They was blaming sundown towns. They were blaming the white man. Now they got a black woman arrested. And y'all were telling me why I'm not speaking on that topic. Because I wait for the information to come out. Now I'm going to speak on it. Because the information came out. See, I'm not going to speak about a topic and then it comes out that, oh, I was blaming a certain group and they had nothing to do with it. Come on now. It's crazy, man. That person wanted me to go back in time to get upset. So I could just imagine some of these people they probably get those stories like, like Emmett Till. Oh, look what they did to Emmett Till. I can't believe they did that to him. You know, they get upset about that too. Till this day, they get upset about these things. Just like a lot of times when we have these discussions, right? People use what's that guy that they made the statue of, the black guy, where the riots happened. What was his name? Um, I forgot his name, but they remember they teared up the streets and they made a statue out of him. That black guy. They made him into a martyr, and the man was a sexual deviant who abused kids and uh, he was in the corn industry, having sexual relations with little girls. Yeah, George Floyd. George Floyd, an extensive criminal history. They crown him as somebody we need to be fighting for. You gotta be kidding me, fam. Absolutely crazy, man. People were protesting for a guy that had sexual relationship with minors. And y'all want to talk about Epstein files, but yet George Floyd was involved in that type of mess with kids and he beat pregnant women and robbed houses. Wow. Amazing. It's crazy, man. Absolutely sick, guys. Let me see what we got. As the human race, it seems like we let the creator down. Uh, we left the creator down, still under a curse, wars, racism, self-destruction of the human family. We are destroying our own earth. and environment. Unity is needed. The sad thing is, unity will never come because we continually dwell on the past. It's just like how somebody just posts Rodney King, right? Where they had them, what it was, the LA riots. That was crazy. Well, what about the trucker that was pulled out the truck, the white man, and he was beaten up to a pulp? Why nobody's talking about that? Was that okay? Well, why did blacks drag the trucker who was just doing his job, brought him out the truck, and beat him to a pulp? He had nothing to do with Rodney King. Do you see the hypocrisy? We complain about what was done, but yet we go out there and we destroy nations and cities. Somebody said the creator let us down. Creator have nothing to do with us. That's like saying, that's like your children saying you let them down when you provided a lifestyle for them and gave them opportunities that they never took advantage of. You ain't let them down. Nope. We let ourselves down because we refuse to do what we need to do, you know? Um, it's just crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Think about this, guys. When the Rodney King situation happened, blacks went crazy, destroyed the city. George Floyd happened, blacks went crazy, destroyed the city. Why are we always destroying the city, especially where we live? Looting all the stores. What does looting all the stores have to do with justice? You see everybody coming out with television sets and radios and stereos. What does that have to do with justice for George Floyd? That's animal behavior, if you ask me. And you expect me to co-sign that mess? Nope. Anyway, guys, it's getting dark. My girls wanted to come outside and play a little bit. I'm gonna pretty much play with them a little bit and head back on in. So y'all take care, guys. It is what it is. Peace and blessings. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think of the video. Don't be afraid to pretty much participate. Let's go. I'm out. Peace.